Okay, so we're going to talk about the stock market. This is a market of stock. So markets, by market we understand that that's where the stock is bought and sold. So you've got people who have stock, they go to the market. In Italian it's borsa, to sell their stock, and then people who want to buy stock go there to make them, an offer, etc., or to look at the price and buy if they're pleased. But this begs the question, this makes us ask, what is stock? Right, that's more complicated. So stock, a company that's a public limited company, not owned by one person or a family, or it could be if it's a stock market of they have all the stock, but it's not a privately owned company. It's owned by stockholders, shareholders. A public limited company will sell parts of the company at this market. So if you go to the stock market, the Borsa, and you buy some stock, you're buying a small piece of that company. You own that company. Maybe, shall we say, for example, Fiat, let's just say, for example, has 1 million shares. So 1 million pieces of stock. And each one of those, shall we say, is on offer for €10. So the company is worth in total 10 million. This isn't true, but it's an example to help us understand that, when you buy 100 shares of Fiat at €10, that costs you €1,000, and then you own part of Fiat. You own 100 millionths of Fiat. And, maybe the profit Fiat makes might get invested in Fiat, part of it, but part of it you might receive as a dividend because it's yours. You get to choose the directors or vote. It's done in a democratic way at a general meeting, an annual general meeting, and you choose the directors that you believe will take the company in the right direction, whether it's for profit or ethical reasons or whatever. You decide who you believe should be the director. So yeah, this is stock, part ownership. And the company, when the stocks go up, your value goes up. So if you bought at €10 for 100 shares, that's €1,000 worth. If they double, if they become €20, times 100, you've made €1,000. It becomes, they're worth 2,000. You can sell them for 2,000 on the stock market. So when the shares go up, when the value of the company goes up, if it does very well, you can make money. If it does very badly, they'll go down and you'll lose money. The company will obviously want the shares to go up in value, because if it's worth more, the company can borrow from banks. If they look like they're worth a lot of money, the banks will lend them money and they can invest more in projects, in expansion, maybe open another factory, etc. So the company wants the price of the shares to go up. It wants to do well. The price will go up and the company will be able to borrow money and invest. And we call that capitalisation. So the value of all the shares is called the market capitalisation. If, for example, in the recession, in the crisis, all the stocks go down, if Fiat goes down to a certain point, they're in danger of being closed, and the assets, the factory, the vehicles, the infrastructure, the machines could be sold because the value of the assets is worth more than the company, the value of the company. So it's better to close and just sell everything, and you get more money than the actual value of the shares. So companies really want to, keep increasing value, otherwise they're under threat of being closed. Okay. Yeah, we call that permanent capital. The money that's raised from the shares is called permanent capital. Stock can also be bonds. This is, bonds are sold by the government, and they're just promises to pay. If you buy a bond for maybe €1,000, the government may say in 10 years' time we will pay you €1,000 and 10% a year. Well, no, that's high at the moment. At the moment it's about 1-2%. So they'll pay 1-2% every year, and that's a way of families, of people, anyone, even businesses and banks buy bonds. A way of keeping value, beating inflation, because they're very safe. They're much safer than the shares. The stock is more risky. Obviously, there's more chance of increasing, making money because of the risk. They're opening factories, etc. But if it goes wrong, you could lose everything. With bonds, you're safer because the government promises to pay, and the government, we think, is more stable and secure, less likely to go bankrupt. So people can invest in bonds for a fixed rate of interest. With the stock, there's no fixed rate of interest. If they make a profit, you receive a dividend. If they do well, it goes up in value. If they do badly, it goes down. With bonds, you're expecting a fixed rate of interest, and you're expecting that it doesn't go bankrupt, the government. Even though over the past decade or so we have seen problems in Greece, Argentina and other places where the government debt has been so high, because that's how they raise the government debt. They sell bonds, and they've done it so much they look like they could become insolvent, they could become bankrupt and won't be able to pay what they promised to pay. So it's not so secure anymore. We have now credit agencies called Moody's and a few other, I can't remember the names, which assess the risk of these governments. And if the risks look high and they do a rating which is very low, high risk rating, the governments have to offer more interest to attract the buyers of their bonds. So